That's the Lazaret or quarantine here. Was built in the 16th century to protect the inhabitants from different diseases such as plague, pest. I was visiting the city, should bring a stone or rock to strengthen the walls against the Turks. The first name of Dubrovnik was Ragusa, Ragusium, or Laus Lausium. In Latin it means a rock. After the great migration of the people, at the beginning of the 7th century, the refugees from Epidaurus, today's Čaptak, a small place on the south of Dubrovnik, saved their lives in Dubrovnik 6 to 1815. After that, Austro-Hungarians domination until 1918, and after that it was difficult for us who is coming next. And the idea of the Slavs was that we can live all together in one country. We didn't have any royal family, and the Serbians offered to us their royal family Karađorđević, and then we start to live in a so-called kingdom of the Slovenians, Croatians, Serbians. Nobody mentioned Montenegrians, nobody mentioned Macedonians. And then we had dictature of Alexander Karađorđević, and then he was killed in 1934 in Marseille. And then the Second World War started. And then after the Second World War, we started to live in Yugoslavia with Tito. Jug means south, Slav, all South Slavs together in one country. Yugoslavia consisted of 6 countries, 2 provinces. And then in 1971, that movement was called Croatian Spring. We wanted to have its own country, but even Tito was Croatian, he couldn't do a lot. But he changed the constitution in 1974 that each republic can live in confederation. We could have money together, army together, but economically independent. And then Tito died in 1980s, and then Serbians, the majority, they started to prepare all this, and then Slovenians said we want to live in confederation, and they left the conference of the Communist Party during the meeting in Belgrade, and then Slovenians were followed by Croatians, and then the war started in Gulf, and first Milosevic attacked Slovenia and then Croatia and so on. Now on the island you can see for the moment red roof. The bay, that's Maximilian Castle, but the first inhabitants on this island were Benedictines. They built a monastery in the 12th. After 700 years they should leave because the Republic wanted to sell the island. Leaving the island the last evening, they circled the island walking through the forest 3 times, and they were using the candles turned down, and they said who is coming after us will not die with a natural death. And they cursed the island. Later I will continue with the story. Okay, now we shall get off if you want to take some photos.
First of all, if we go on Saturday, who would want to go? Who does not want to go? Jack again.
Here we go, penance time.
On Saturday at 5:30, there's a concert with the Croatian radio and television.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, if you, that's fine. Oh, I just want to say something. That on Saturday, we'll come back Saturday about 5:30. We eat supper in the...
And they said for the bus and the guide and the tickets to visit museums, yes. So first who bought the island was Maximilian von Habsburg, the brother of the Austrian Empire. Later on, he became the empire in Mexico, where he was killed. That's the first tragic end of one who bought the island in 1859. And after we have Rudolf, the son of the Austrian Empire. He used to come on that in the same castle with his mistress Maria. Also, he killed himself and his mistress in Meyering. Very famous movie. I watched the other day on the TV. Omar Sharif was Rudolf and Catherine Deneuve Mary. Because his father didn't allow him to marry, to divorce from his wife and to marry Maria. And then the third one, Ferdinand I. He visited Sarajevo in 1914, and then he was killed, and his wife Sofia too, in Sarajevo. And then the First World War started. And then the next owner was from 1918, Alexander Karađorđević, royal family from Serbia, and then he was killed in Marseille. But today we call the Island of Love, no more cursed island, because mostly of the young couples are going to make love on the island, and then after a couple of months they're coming back in 4 or 5. You can't stay during the night on the island. It's botanical garden and national reservoir, and 2 families are living only on the island, taking care about the garden. And you can see the fortress now on the left, built also during Napoleon times to control the port of the city. And now we are going to, this is the gift of our driver, we are going to take you on another panorama to see the new part of Dubrovnik, a new port. The big white house is a hospital of Dubrovnik, the new one. And then you can see the islands. As I mentioned yesterday, we have 1,185 islands. I will show you one small one, a round one, called Daxa, just leaving the new port. It's for sale, $2 million, if you're interested. The owner died recently in the age of 94. He was a benefactor of Dubrovnik. He was sending a lot of money from Peru for the restoration of the walls when the walls were damaged. And so we have all universities on this peninsula, Lapad, and many hotels also we have on that side of the city. From Zagreb to Rijeka, 90 minutes. From Zagreb to Split, the second biggest city in Croatia, Split, it's a long drive from Trieste, from the north of the coast, about 12 hours. Now this highway will help us a lot. We built this bridge 2 years ago, for the people who are coming by car, you don't have to drive. You see the river, that's the underground river, only 5 kilometers long, called Ombla. So you don't have to drive all around the river, about 12 kilometers. It's a shorter way to the city for about 20 minutes. And the new suburb of Dubrovnik on the right hand side. Down the cities on the yacht. That's the market, and also under the porch it's a fish market. Fishermen boats are coming here every day. We don't have a fast food, we have slow food. We cook lunch and dinner. It's not that simple to be a woman here. You see another wheel on the left, on the right it's a beautiful one, a preserve. On the right hand side, Sorkočević, we use today for the also concerts, a garden for the dramas. That villa is $2 million. That's number 12. You see on the door. That's with the big garden. We used to have a factory here on the left for the olive oil, and they opened that road in rocks. this summer we are having 40% more French tourists than last 10 years. People still are afraid to come here. They were thinking that the war is going on, but it's not true, but it's difficult.